Hello and welcome to the Virtual Cafe. I am your host, Segilola Salami. What can I get you today?
Hi, my name is Assaph. I'm the author of Murder in Absentia, the historical mystery, and I'd like a cappuccino, please.
Perfect. And what would you like with your cappuccino?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, just cappuccino would be perfect, thank you.
Just okay. That's a new one for us. Most people tend to like to have something with their drink. Okay. Well, the little human seems quite excited today, so she's had a bit of a sugar high the last few days. So we'll let her try and work it off. So yeah, if you just give us a second while she's getting your order. Who's next, please?
Hi, my name is Nathan Hirsch. I'm the owner of FreeUp.com with three E's and co-author of the ebook, The 10 Most Common Mistakes in Outsourcing.
Right. So what did you say? I heard three E.
My website, FreeUp.com, like free up your time.
Okay. What do you do with it?
So we're a freelancing website. We're the hands-on way to hire remote workers from $5 to $50 an hour to help your online businesses.
Ah, interesting. So what sort of people? Oh, sorry. Before I get carried away, what would you like to drink?
I'll have a dark coffee, please.
Dark coffee. Is that just like really really strong coffee and nothing inside?
No sugar, no milk.
Okay, that's fine. And what would you like to have with your coffee?
Do you guys have any bagels?
Sadly, no, but I've got leftover birthday cake, strawberry and Maltesers. The
That's
most
great.
delicious. Okay, that's fine. So we'll get a little human to get on with it. I hope you're not in a hurry.
No rush.
No, okay, perfectly. So yes, tell me about this your freelance website. So okay, I think first of all, just to make sure that we're all clear, who is a freelancer?
What is a freelancer? Uh,
Yeah.
so we call them remote workers. It's essentially people with various skill sets from data entry all the way up to consultants that work remote. So they work from home or they travel and they work, and they can help support your business in a lot of different ways. And we offer workers that are both U.S. and non-U.S. based. Obviously, the U.S. workers cost more, but we're really there to support you. And there's a lot of companies out there that you can go online and you can post a job post and you can get 100 applicants and you can interview them one by one. And at the end of the day, you're either going to make a good hire for your company or a bad hire. And if you make a bad hire, it can really hurt your company. And if you make a good hire and one day they decide to quit, you're right back where you started interviewing all these people. And I've done this before. I own an Amazon store that does about $7 million in sales a year. I've hired hundreds of workers. I've written an ebook on hiring. So I consider myself a hiring expert. And I wanted to create a way for people to hire the workers they need from their company without the large HR hassles. So I created freeup.com to be a hands-on way where clients can be like, hey, Nathan, I need this. Hey, Nathan, I need this. And I can provide workers quickly that I've already vetted, already interviewed, that are already a part of my team to really help expand a company so the client can focus on building their business and not spending all day doing interviews and finding the workers they need.
Hmm. Okay, so just hold on one second there. Asa, as an author, have you ever used the remote worker?
Yes, to get the book published does require things like cover art, editing, and stuff like that. So I've definitely worked with editors and cover artists all over the world.
Okay, and what has your experience been like?
Um, Again, it's like Nathan says. Sometimes it's a hit and miss. It takes time to find the right person. Once you do find them, you keep them on file and keep them close. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what would you say is one disadvantage of using a remote, in your personal experience, what has been one disadvantage of using a remote worker?
Advantage or disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage is sometimes you think you can uh, got, get what you want, and you end up not quite getting what you want, which requires you to restart the process. So when I launched my book, I commissioned the cover art, and it didn't quite turn out what I requested. So I essentially had to relaunch the book with a new cover art a bit later.
Okay, fair enough. So if I go back to you, Nathan, there are loads of before you came onto the show. There are lots of ones that I personally am aware of, and I'm just going to name them. Not that I'm advocating for anyone; it's just something that I was aware. So there's People Per Hour, there's Fiverr, there's Elancer. How do you, or what do you do different to them?
Sure. So we're the hands-on approach. So like I mentioned, you can go to all these different sites like Fiverr and Upwork and post a job and get a lot of applicants. And I can't, there's a lot of different agencies out there, so I can't speak for anyone. I can only speak for my workers.
Yeah.
We do an excellent job vetting them, and then we back it up as well. So if you hire one of our workers and there's any issues along the line, we're very hands-on. You can always contact me or my assistants. We'll get involved. We'll make sure any communication gets cleared up, any miscommunication. We'll also get you a new worker right away if you don't want one. And then we're also insurance, or if you want one, and we're also insurance for your workers down the line. So if you hire a worker and you love them and they quit out of nowhere, we'll cover all retraining costs. We'll get you a new worker right away, and we'll make sure that you never take a step back for HR reasons. Because as Assaph said, when you hire, it can be hit or miss. So that's why it's really important to us that we have a great interview process and we have great 5-star workers, and at the same time we're there with backup plans and with insurance for our clients in case they either don't like the worker or the worker has an issue where they can't work anymore.
Interesting. See, now with the regular ones, as far as I'm aware, and I am no expert, so you have to clarify or correct me if I'm wrong. Normally, what happens is, so for instance, Fiverr, for instance, someone literally just needs to go on their website, register as a seller, possibly verify their email or verify one of their social media profiles. I don't think that they need to do anything else. So how do you go about vetting yours? Like, how long does it normally take to do so?
To vet the workers, or
to vet the workers.
Got it. So we get hundreds of applicants every week, and we have a great interview process that's a little bit proprietary. But we have 3 rounds where we figure out, where we first of all talk to them and learn about them and the past history and their experience. We also test for their skills. If they say they're an Amazon expert or a writing expert, we'll look at samples, we'll test them. And then the biggest thing that separates us is we have communication guidelines, because I know how big communication is when you're dealing with a worker, never mind a remote worker where you're not even in the same building. So we have about 12 pages of communication guidelines and policies that we take very seriously. And we make our workers memorize these policies, we test them on it, and we enforce them so that when they're working with a client, they do things like exchange contact information up front, so you can always get a hold of the worker. So they inform the clients in advance if they have to go on leave or if they can't work. And just simple things like updating the client after work's been done and telling the client when they're punching in and punching out, and making sure our clients are informed at all times and that there's no miscommunication.
That sounds very interesting. See, now, just sort of thinking about it, just, like from what Assaph has said, if I'm sure if he wanted to do one, he probably might consider you, because that's one of the problems you have, where someone says, oh, I can do this, knowing fully well that they're incapable of doing it, but they just want to try their luck, or they just want to see if you would award it to them and sort of waste your time. So I guess what you're saying is that one of the advantages of using your company is that you limit the amount of time wasted because you vet them properly.
Exactly. I mean, we don't offer a platform where you can view all these different workers and pick the one you want. With us, you tell us exactly what you need, and we provide it for you quickly already from our team. So we've already vetted these people. We've used these people for a while in most cases. What's awesome is I have a second company, my Amazon store, so I can even test workers on there, whether it's writing content for listings, or if it's more e-commerce specific. And we have lots of other clients that have used us for a while that enjoy testing out newer workers before we give them to newer clients. So it's a great process where we only keep the best of the best and we make them available to our clients.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so just to clarify, I was going to ask something now. What was I going to ask? Okay, right. I was having baby brain for a second. So let's say I wanted to use your service. Like if I went on Fiverr, for instance, all I need to do is search through a list of so maybe I might put in a keyword and search for the list of available gigs. right? With you, that's not a process. I just got a job out.
As a client?
Yes.
Yeah, as a client, all you do is you sign up. It's a 3-step process. The first step, we get your contact information. The second step, you sign our agreement that essentially says you won't try to steal one of our workers and you'll actually pay for the work. Then the third thing is setting up a payment method, either a PayPal retainer or a credit card on file. And from there, you have access to our workers, but we don't have like a list of all our workers that you go through. You either fill out a worker request form where you tell us exactly what you want, or you can call or email me at any time and give me the specifics, and I can provide you, and I'll just introduce you to someone on my team. So you get access to this large network of workers that you can quickly get a hold of at any time. And there's no long interview process. We allow our workers to meet with our clients for 15 minutes ahead of time, but they won't start any training, do any work, or any consulting until they're actually hired. So you've got that initial 15 minutes if you want. A lot of my clients who've been working with me for a while don't even use that. They just trust that our workers are high quality going in. But it's an opportunity for you to meet really good workers without having to filter through hundreds of different applications.
Okay, Assaph, what do you think about what Nathan has said?
It's interesting. It's something I'd look in the future at. I mean, when I was looking to get my book edited and then the cover done, so I did interview and then send samples for a few editors and got a response back and read through them. It took a while to find the right person that could do the right level of editing. So I'm curious how it works when a customer has very particular demands.
Agreed. And you do get those picky clients, which is good. Picky's good. And especially with anything like writing, we can provide samples. We let you meet with the worker. And you should sometimes do have to find the right fit, especially when you're dealing with graphic design and writers. So we try to make a group of workers available because what one client likes in graphic design might not be the exact same thing that another client likes in graphic design. So I agree, it's a good point, and it's something that we're constantly trying to add really quality workers to our team and make them available to our clients so they can pick. And although we don't always get it right on the first try, within the second or third try, we almost always get it right and making sure it's a perfect match as long as the client provides us feedback on why they like or didn't like the previous worker.
Right. Okay. So because most people on the show or people who listen to the show, they're authors or they're involved with books in one way or the other, what sort of services, I mean, Assaph has said a few, from editing to cover design, is to someone who's sort of starting out as a newbie author, what sort of services can they commission to a remote worker or a freelancer, to get? So other than, say, editing or cover art design, what other services can say your remote workers, what other services can they provide to an author?
Sure. So, I mean, you mentioned editing and designing. The other thing I would put along with that is just basic research. If you're writing a book that requires you to go to do research, you can hire a team to gather that information for you. But then on the marketing and branding side, I mean, being an author is like being a business person. It's all about your brand. It's all about marketing you. So we have people that are not only expert in marketing, but that can run your social media pages, that can run different ads for your book. We have people that are Amazon experts that can help you with Amazon stuff, promoting your book on Amazon. Whether you sell on other channels, whether it's eBay or your own website, we have people who can help you build that and develop that. And we have a lot of really good marketing and branding people to help get your name out there and your book's names out there.
You know what, you have just said the icing on the cake is like, what you've just said is just giving me a sugar high, right? Because that's the problem a lot of, self-published authors, they have is with marketing. If you go on Goodreads, you will find everyone, there are loads of discussions going on. It's like, how do I increase sales of my book? How do I do this? How do I rank on Amazon? And, Amazon is like the digital drug lord, in book sales, and everyone's trying to find a way to sort of quote unquote that A word that we're supposed to not speak, but beat the Amazon algorithm. So what you said is actually quite interesting. I mean, I know I've used a freelancer from Fiverr before, and and when I had what's the word I'm looking for? When I had a free book deal, and that was able to give me a little surge in downloads. I mean, Assaph, have you used a freelancer to sort of help you to boost your book sales before?
No, actually, I handle the marketing directly.
Okay.
My marketing is currently aimed not so much at sales, but more at generating reviews.
Okay.
Reviews are actually the key to getting more sales in the future. I did use a few paid services like Book Gorilla and BookBub. They're pretty good. Well, the top tier are pretty good. It works better when you have several books out there. So you run a promotion on the first book of the series or the latest book in the series, and then it gets sold through to other books in the series. So.
Okay. Right. Okay. So Nathan, just going from what Assaph has said, let's say person A or author A has 3 books and is making one in the series free of charge. In the hope that will drive sales to the other books. If someone then contacted you to say, right, I would like to promote my series, what can your remote workers do?
Sure. So we can kind of take a step back. So every person whether they're writing an own book or they're running an e-commerce store or whatever it is, we're not there to run your business for you. You still have to make the business decisions on how you want to go about promoting it, whether you want to use social media or other websites or what kind of research you want to do. But what we do is we provide the workers to support that. So we're not a full-scale marketing agency where you come to us with nothing and we just build your whole brand from scratch. You have to come to us with a game plan, and we can provide you the workers that you need to execute that game plan.
Right. Okay. I see. Because I know that, like, on websites like, say, Fiverr, and I say Fiverr just because, it's one that I've used, and a lot of people, when they come on Goodreads, which is a group that I'm on, they talk about, gigs on Fiverr because, someone, would post, all right, I've got this gig for $5. I will promote your book to my Twitter followers, or I will promote your book to my mailing list. But then your remote workers, I'm assuming they don't have mailing lists that they can promote to.
No, but we do have people that do a lot of link building, and what they'll do is they'll take your content and they'll research different people that are maybe related or different people in the industry that get a lot of traffic and try to pitch your books or your ideas or your brand to these people and get your word out there. A good thing that I do, just because I want to spread my expertise, is I'll write different guest blog posts and I'll have my workers contact different bloggers to try to get them out there. And then they all kind of reference back to my site. So I'm sure there's a lot of blogs out there that review books that have different book giveaways. So you could hire a worker from the Philippines for $5 an hour to go through and make big lists of all these companies and send mail merges out introducing yourself, showing samples of your book, and seeing if you can make a connection to really get your name everywhere, which stuff that would take you hours and hours to do, you can do pretty cheaply with remote workers.
Okay. No, that's quite interesting. So, okay, let's not talk about your book, your company for a second. In general, let's say an aspiring author wanted to get a freelancer. Okay, so I want you to do me 3 things, right? So you'll tell me what the pros of using a freelancer are. Any freelancer, not just your freelancers or not just your remote workers. What are the disadvantages that the person might likely see? Because again, when you have this knowledge or when you have this information, it will help you to make better decisions, right? So, if you say what the advantages are and what the disadvantages are, and then in making a hiring decision, what sort of things should the author look out for? So 3 things I would like to know.
Sure. So the advantages of hiring a freelancer, first of all, is cost and HR. You don't have to deal with taxes, paid vacation, anything like that. You're hiring these people as contractors. The other thing with hiring freelancers is you can really focus on skill-specific people. Whereas if you were hiring an employee, you might have to commit to a large amount of hours in order to get the specification you need. But with a freelancer, you can pick and choose the hours you want that are.
Hello?
And then the other thing is just with freelancers, you just get access to a huge network of people with different skill sets that you would never get with people that would walk in the door. Even if you put a job on Craigslist or a different site and you have people come into interviews one by one, it's going to take you a lot more time, and you're also not going to get access to a lot of the people that are around the U.S. that don't necessarily live in your area. In terms of disadvantages, the biggest thing is communication. Whenever you have someone that's not working in the same building as you, there can always be miscommunication, and I try to make that as little as possible, both on the client and on the worker side. We have client guidelines to try to help them improve, and we also have my ebook that's available for free. And then on the worker side, I told you about the policies that we strictly enforce. The other downside of freelancers is if you're not actually on top of them or you're not watching them work, you might, not for my company, but there are freelancers out there that might not be honest with the hours they bill, and it's kind of hard to know whether they're working or not. We have time clock software to avoid that, and it really depends on what website you use. You want to really make sure that you know what you're getting into. Projects are actually. And the other disadvantage would just be the interviewing and making sure they actually have the skills. Doing the work. A lot of time when you hire these agencies, what they'll do is actually outsource your outsourcing. Doing the work won't actually be doing it. And that's a big policy violation of ours. We make sure all of our workers are the ones who actually do the work for our clients. But if you hire a freelancer that lives in California and you're in Massachusetts, how do you really know that that's the person that's doing your work and they're not just giving it to someone else cheaper? Those are just some things to watch out for if you do decide to hire a freelancer. And it's very conscious to make sure it's not an issue for our client.
Perfect. Okay, Assaph, do you have anything to say finally on the pros and cons of using a freelancer?
Well, like I said, as a self-published author, I actually established my own publishing house, and I've assembled a team of freelancers all over the world, which is works quite well for me. I mean, I know my skills. I know what I need to pay to get other professionals to do. I found the right people to do it for me. So working with a team, the distance doesn't matter in this case.
Yeah, but what advice would you offer someone? So because obviously you started, before you started, you had no team, right? And then you had to go through the process of finding, suitable team to work with. So when you were going through the process, what were the advantages you found and what were the disadvantages, and what would you tell an aspiring author to make sure they watch out for?
Like I said, the advantage is that you can hire a specific skill and you can find the right person that you can work with and have a good expertise in what you're looking for, whether it's cover design, editing, book layout, book marketing, whatever it is. And once you have that person, you can keep working with them. So that's quite good. The disadvantage, like Nathan said, it can take some time to find the right person. What I would say to aspiring authors looking to self-publish in general is to find your strength and pay for everything else. So if you're a good graphic designer in your day job, by all means, design your own cover. If you have no clue how to design a cover, don't just do something mediocre just because it's cheap, but pay for someone to do it properly. The look of a professional book does matter a lot. The two things I think all authors should pay for almost regardless are covers and proofreading. Two things that stand out in the crowd, whether the book was professionally done or not. If the cover was meh, then people look at it and not necessarily want to pick it up. And if there are spelling mistakes on the first page, they'll very soon quicker give up. So these are the two most important things you need to work with.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for that. Sorry.
Besides writing a good story yourself, of course.
Of course. That's quite important. Sorry, what was the name of the title of your book again, Assaph?
The title of the book is Murder in Absentia.
What is it about?
It's a historical fantasy. It's set on a variation of ancient Rome, but with magic. and it's told like a classic hard-boiled detective mystery, where the main character is hired to solve a murder case.
Interesting. Nathan, have you read it?
Yeah, I read it last week.
Okay, what did you think of it?
It was very interesting. I don't know if I'm qualified to leave reviews on fiction books, because mostly what I read is nonfiction. But I could tell that a lot of work went into it. Different research about different time periods, a lot of creativity. It was a very interesting read, and it had a lot of twists and turns. It was exciting.
So, let me start off with, what did you not like about it? Because I feel like everybody always goes, well, this is what I like about it, but I like to know about the thing that someone doesn't like about it. What did you not like about it?
And I don't know if there was one specific thing that I didn't like about it. I think I'm more into books that are real or realistic. I don't think I read a lot of books that have to do with magic or things that don't exist. So I guess that's my biggest thing. If I was just picking up a book to read personally without having to do this interview, having to learn about the book, I probably wouldn't have read it. But that's kind of the only thing that I didn't love about the book. But at the same time, I know that was what you were trying to get at, so I did enjoy it.
Okay. So bearing in mind that it's not your typical type of book, it's not the typical type of book that you would go out of your way to read, what did you like about it? And just from that, did the author manage to, and I'm sure he's got a thick skin and he's not going to get offended, but did the author manage to, what's the word I'm looking for now? Get you to become a fan, so to speak, to want to sort of, did he intrigue you enough? I think maybe that's a better way to say it.
No, it definitely did. We actually talked last week. I left him a good review on Amazon. I really like the character development from Felix to a bunch of others that I can't even pronounce their name. I wouldn't do it justice. But I really like the character development. I really like the different turns. I am a fan of mysteries, so it was kind of cool seeing different things unfold as you got through the book. So I really enjoyed it. I don't really have anything bad to say or any changes. I could tell a lot of research went into it, and I think a lot of people that know that time period maybe better than I do really enjoyed how he kind of tied that into a mystery as well as into fiction.
So, Assaph, is this a standalone book or would it be a series? Hello?
I'm here.
So I said, is it going to be a standalone book or will it be a series?
No, it's actually going to be a series. Each book is going to be a independent mystery, but there is some continuation in the character's life, etc. I'm actually currently, right now, drafting the second novel.
Okay, and when do you think that's going to be out?
Hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, probably.
Okay.
I have a one-year-old son of my own, so it does take now a little bit more time to write the second book than it took the first one.
I know. With little humans, you don't really realize how much attention they need. And you just think, he's like, so I tend to do most of my writing, and that's why today I'm actually super sleep deprived. I don't think my voice is reflected it, but I've had no sleep whatsoever for the last 24 hours. Nathan, from just the way you read Assaph's first book, is it intriguing enough for you to want to check out the second book when it's released?
Yeah, I hope he sends me a link to it once it's out. I'm definitely interested to see where he goes with it and how we can kind of turn this into a series. I think it has a lot of potential.
Fabulous. You see, that's what I really like to hear, when you connect people, because I've had, people say, for instance, and this is not me doing shameless plug here, it's just because it's all relevant, people say, oh, because I've asked them to review my book, they would not originally have gone out of their way to get it if they just saw it on an Amazon listing. But, once they've read it, they're like, oh, okay, this is quite interesting and it's different. So that's, I would like to say, round of applause for Assaph, because I think it's quite nice when someone who is not a typical fan of a particular genre, they try out your book, and then it makes them think, actually, you know what, this is not as bad as I think or as bad as I thought, and I would want to follow it up more. So congrats, Assaph. I think that's that's a job well done for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I also think being an author in general should get more credit than I guess they do. I co-wrote an ebook that's probably like 20 or 30 pages long. I can't even imagine the time and effort, not only just writing 400 pages, but the research that went into it to make it really capture the time period and then the developing characters and putting it all in one place. You did a very good job.
Yes, thank you. Right, and I think before the show, Assaph, you said you were doing a Goodreads giveaway. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. Every few months I run a giveaway on Goodreads. So if you're a member of Goodreads, you can just Google or search there me or the book, and I'll send you a link later that you can post next to the broadcast, and you can enter for your chance to win. And
okay, when is it? When is it? Yeah, when is the when is it valid? When is the good? I can't even speak properly. When is the giveaway from, and when does it end?
It starts next Monday and runs for a week.
What's next Monday's date?
The 20th, 21st.
Okay. Of July till.
Yeah, of June. Still in June.
Oh yes.
Yeah, till the 29th.
Of June.
Yes.
Okay, so that's quite a short one. Okay, well, fingers crossed you'll get loads of people enter. And what countries is it? Because I know that on Goodreads you can sort of set the country. So is it available to everyone worldwide or just specific countries?
Yes, being an Australian and getting all those giveaway notifications for exciting books and then going and checking and saying, oh, it's America only. Really, I make sure that mine are worldwide.
Okay, perfect. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, just to recap, Assaph, if someone wanted to contact you, just to say an aspiring author, will say, oh yes, please be my mentor, or I want to pick your brains, because you've been through the whole process, or he says, you've got your team together, I would like you, to make recommendations. How can people get hold of you for any reason?
Easily. I have my own website. The website is egretia.com, egretia.com. That's the name of the mythological city that I've built for the book. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook, so if you know how to spell my name, then I'm the only one crazy enough to spell it that way. So it's kind of easy to find.
So how do you spell your name?
Assaph.
Yeah.
Last name is Mehr.
Okay, perfect. So if they just search for that on Twitter or on Facebook, they'll be able to find you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Any other way someone can contact you, or are those just the main ones?
Those are the main ones. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And how about you, Nathan?
You can contact me at freeup.com, freeup.com. You can email me at nathan@freeup.com. You can find me on Skype. My name is Portlight, Portlighat. My Amazon store, Hirsch. You can also find us on freeup.com or Nathan Hirsch, LinkedIn, or Twitter.
Perfect. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I hope to have you on the show some other time soon. And to everyone else listening, thanks for coming to the Segilola Salami Show. And we'll see you again soon. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.